just feel that I have to defend the male white atheist, and this is in response to Aloma. I'm very sorry to hear that you had such negative response from skeptics in the pubs. I go there sometimes, and I know some of the members. But I think you'll be pleased to hear that there are atheist groups which are reaching out to non-white members. And I am a member of two of them. One, the London Atheist Meetup Group, which has many non-white members. And about a year and a half ago, a new organization was launched, which is Atheism UK. And I was approached by these white male atheists to join as a committee member. Now that to me is reaching out. And they are reaching out to other Muslim groups. They have, when they launched with links to CMB and invited Syed, ex-Muslim meetup group. So I think you'd be pleased to hear that there are atheist groups out there who are not showing any form of racism at all.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, well, so we've got just a quick response from the panel, and then we are virtually back on track, on time. Okay, I've got a very, very urgent waving hand at the back there. It would have to be a sentence or two, sir. And
thank you. I suppose we are back to the same question where we started. What is being done officially or in legal terms to get the ex-Muslims or atheists recognized as asylum, a particular social group in terms of asylum? Are there any steps being taken by NGOs and other pressure groups? That's to
okay, thank you very much. All right, so I'll ask members of the panel to respond to any of the points that just recently made, or to just make a summing up remark or two, starting off with Anne.
Yeah, there are some groups. There are some groups which specifically aim to get apostates, but they're not recognised, but they're not loud enough. And I'd like to think that we are making a contribution to that now. We get a lot of communications from people asking for help. Rarely do I know what happens to them in the end. But yeah, there are people, but not nearly enough. There are some people within the UN, there's some people, small groups here, small legal groups usually, and they are legal groups first, but they happen to believe in this and they are working towards it. But it's small and it needs to grow, and I want us to make a huge contribution to it. It's one big issue that really, really bothers me, actually, is from a European's point of view. The one thing that we can do for ex-Muslims struggling around the world is to help them, either help them in their own countries or help them to get into here so they can live freely like we have taken for granted forever. So not forever, but in my lifetime forever. So yeah, not enough, but it's growing, I hope, and we're adding to it.
Okay, thank you very much. Hassan feels he's made his points, so Alom?
Yeah, just a quick response to Fried. Look, I'm not saying any of these skeptics or atheists are deliberately not doing what they should do, but if you read the comments on that piece, you will see that there was lots of white people who responded in an incredibly negative manner. Some of the leading figures in the world of skepticism, whose names I can tell you in private, said, "It's not my problem." Now, I'm glad that you've had positive experiences, and I can name one or two people who have come forward and said, "What can I do?" Great. But the problem is that we need to all be speaking out more about these issues, and the more people that speak out, the more people with prominent platforms that speak out, the more chance there will be for change. And I feel that my talk has been sidetracked into this issue about powerful white atheists, but that's not really where I want to go. I mean, I was invited here as an ex-Muslim, as someone who I think Mariam stumbled across on the internet, because actually, if you try to look for prominent ex-Muslim atheists, there aren't that many, okay? And it's kind of pitiful that I'm sitting here, because I'm really a nobody.
Right, well that is where we conclude the session bang on time, so I've succeeded in one, if only one, of the functions of the chair. It's been an extraordinarily interesting session. I've really enjoyed it. I've greatly valued the contributions from the floor, numerous different approaches to what is a very sensitive and personal issue. I did describe when we started our speakers as distinguished. I think undoubtedly they have distinguished themselves in the responses that they've given to the points that have been made and their contributions they've made today. So thank you very much, and thank them very much.